What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, consider subscribing. It is your boy MXP, and today I got a video for you guys that it was low-key influenced by, I was thinking of a different video to do, but then I saw Fem Trooper. She put up a video talking about gaming regrets, and this video is like opposite of that a little bit, but kind of in the same vein. And it's funny too because I seen, as I was recording this, I saw Mr. Maddie put up on his Retro Rebound channel like games that haunt him in his backlog, and that's kind of what this video is going to be about. So we all have these things, these gaps in our entertainment history, right? Like if you like movies, like some people like myself, I haven't seen Shawshank Redemption, I haven't watched, The Sopranos, there's a ton of anime I haven't watched, and there's video games I haven't played that a lot of people really talk about and put them up highly and everything like that. There are games I have played, but there's a lot of stuff that I haven't played. But what I want to do differently with this isn't just, hey, these are video games I want to play or random games from my backlog. So about a year ago or maybe 2 years ago, I did a video about the top rated games of all time, the top 100 games on there. And I kind of counted like, okay, which of these have I played, or maybe I own them and haven't touched it. So what I want to do for this video is, these are the best video games, 10 out of 10s that everybody puts up very highly, that I actually own or have access to via, subscription service or anything like that, that I have not touched and I definitely want to get to. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Like I said, if you're into gaming, being down that backlog, if you ever DM'd your crush and got left on scene, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, and let's get right into it. The first one, I'm going to get into some honorable mentions, just a few. So the first one I have is Half-Life 2 from Valve. And now Valve is pretty legendary, not just as a video game creator making games like Half-Life, Team Fortress, games like that, as well as Portal, but they obviously have Steam as a platform, the biggest PC platform there is out there. But Half-Life 2 I actually grabbed on Steam for it was like $2, like $1.98. It was super cheap. I haven't played a ton of Valve games. I played, Portal 1 and 2. I played a little bit of Team Fortress, but Half-Life has always been like that game that everyone always puts like, oh, where's Half-Life 3? And the fact that this is such an influential game. And I've played a lot of games that are influential, so it'll be cool to kind of check this game out and see, okay, what games has this inspired that I have, I've played, and I'll notice like, okay, maybe this game did it first and things like that. I also did a top, I think it was top 10 or top 15 like weapons, video game weapons list, and the gravity gun from Portal was, or from Half-Life was actually on a lot of people's list when I was looking up, some people's opinions on the top weapons list. So definitely got to check this game out sometime soon. Next up on the list, we have the Arkham trilogy. That's the next honorable mention. So I do have Batman Arkham Knight right here. I know Arkham City, I always wanted it just because every time I saw a preview for it, it looked so cool, but a lot of people really love this trilogy. I did get it on Steam for, I think it was still like a bundle or something they were doing. I got it for like $8.50 or something. I got all three of these games. And now I think this game, without the Arkham trilogy coming out, I mean, I know Spider-Man has been out, years before and everything like that, but they do have the similar fight mechanics, where you have a bunch of enemies surrounding you and things like that. And, Spider-Man, another game, it's not on this list, but Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, and Miles Morales on the PS5 slash PS4 for the remaster is on my list of games to get to as well. And the Batman games, I have been on a little bit of a Batman kick. I just bought the Batman Beyond Blu-ray, Justice League, Batman Animated Series. I remember the Batman with Robert Pattinson a few years ago was really good. So at some point, I do want to play through this trilogy. I heard the story is really good as well, not just the gameplay. So definitely looking forward to getting to this one. And now for the last honorable mention, we have a game that is very, very notorious and really big in the RPG space, especially when it comes to Western RPGs, from that legendary year of 2007 and did really big numbers on the 360, and that is Mass Effect. Back in 2020, they had the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which came out and, remastered the first game and, polished up the second and third games. The reason this is an honorable mention and not actually on my list of 10 games I want to talk about is because I've played Mass Effect 2 and I really like this. So technically I've played, the series to some extent. Everything else I haven't touched at all. So I did want to put this as an honorable mention, but yeah, at some point I do want to get to this game. I do want to get to it this year, possibly drop a review around November 7th, Mass Effect Day, Mass Effect 5. People are waiting for it. We don't know what's happening. BioWare's kind of, not the same BioWare that people have been, accustomed to for the last, 15, 20 years before, Anthem and Dragon Age Veilguard and all that stuff started coming out. But Mass Effect, again, a lot of people's favorite game ever, choice and consequence, RPG mechanics, all that kind of stuff. So definitely want to get this one a spin. All right, and now for the actual list. Now these 10 aren't in any particular order. They're not in any order of like which ones I want to play more than the other one or anything like that. They're just 10 games that I own that a lot of people revere very highly. But the first one that we're going to talk about is Persona 5 Royal. I do have the Steelbook right here, which I bought separately because I did buy the game physically. I got it on sale for like 20 something dollars, so not too much money spent on this steelbook here. I mean, not much more needs to be said about Persona. Like, the Persona series is super legendary, especially since Persona 3. I did play Persona 3 Reload last year, as well as Metaphor ReFantazio, as you see in the shirt that I'm wearing in this video. And it, like, Persona 5 has been getting milk for the last 10 years at this point. Like, the Royal Edition, we have Persona 4 Revival supposed to be coming out at some point. So Persona 5, again, it is one of those long life sim RPG games that you got to really sink your teeth into. It's around 110 hours or so, so it does take a minute to play through it. But me getting more into these Atlas JRPGs, Persona 5 is definitely on my list. I'm going to play. It's just, again, finding the time to dedicate 100 hours to me on the low end, like not doing all the side quests and everything, is a big time commitment to put to it. But at some point I do want to play through it. Joker seems really cool. I tried them in Smash Brothers and everything like that. I did play the game when it was on Game Pass for like maybe like 5 hours, but I didn't really get super deep into it. But now that I have it on the Switch, definitely gonna have some time to play it, and I can't wait. All right, next up on the list is Red Dead Redemption 2. And one of the themes you'll see with this video is a lot of games. What happens is they have these Black Friday sales, random Steam sales, stuff like that. So this was on sale on Xbox for like 26 bucks or whatever. So I just, grabbed it kind of not on a whim, because I know everyone kind of talks very highly of it. And to be honest, I'm not necessarily the biggest Rockstar fan. Like I've said it before, I haven't played many Rockstar games. I played Grand Theft Auto 5. Outside of that, I haven't played like San Andreas. I haven't played Bully or Manhunt or LA Noire or any of these other games in that style. But again, when you just hear everybody over and over and over just talking about a certain game and rating it very highly, is getting all these great reviews, and it's not necessarily outside of my wheelhouse, no pun intended, of like a game I would try and play, then I want to check it out. So at some point I will be getting to Red Dead Redemption 2. All right, the next on the list, we got Ghost of Tsushima, another game I caught on a sale. This was Black Friday. I've mentioned in the video probably every time I've had a chance to mention it since I got it. But I think it was Black Friday 2022. This is another game I want to get to this year as well, before Ghost of Yotei comes out. Not necessarily saying I'm gonna get Ghost of Yotei as soon as it comes out, but I did want to do like a retro review around that time, just because I know it's going to be interest in it and everything like that. But when we talk about the console war of last generation with the PS4 and the Xbox One, this is one of the reasons people were placing PlayStation so high, right? Like Xbox One, I'll die on this hill, had a lot of great exclusives and other games that came to it. It was just the fact that PS4's exclusive were just so, we haven't seen anything to that level yet. The over the shoulder cinematic, super story driven $200 million games with Ghost of Tsushima, God of War 2018, Horizon, all these games, Uncharted 4, all these games coming out back to back to back to back, and a lot of people were really blown away with this game, with the samurai mechanics and the fight style, the stances, everything like that. The DLC itself was like a whole second game. So I know a few people were kind of disappointed that you're getting a new protagonist in Ghost of Yotei, but either way, I know fans, like the real fans of the series, are looking forward to that game as well. And I did get the deluxe director's cut edition, so looking forward to that, and then checking out the DLC as well. So there are a few games that when you ask people what are your top 10, and they'll say, if you don't have this game on the list, then your list is invalid. And one that you'll see all the time is this right here. This is Chrono Trigger. I like the okay. This is Chrono Trigger right here on the DS. Now this did originally come out on, I got this I think 2 years ago. It's complete in box, comes with manual, there's a poster in here and everything. And this originally came out on the SNES back in the 90s, and then it's also on Steam, and I think there was a mobile version as well. But this is, outside of complete in box on the SNES, this is the most expensive copy you can get, but it is the best looking version of the game, and that's kind of why I got it. And this game was put together by Square Enix, or Squaresoft at the time, and it has the minds of, they call it the RPG Dream Team. You had the Final Fantasy team, the Dragon Quest team, and the creator of Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama, who did pass last year or 2 years ago. So again, just, if I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball in general, and you can see the art style and the kind of influence here, obviously from Akira Toriyama. So I not say I owe it to him to play, but it is like, if you're a fan of it and this game is already regarded as high as it is, everyone says how well it's aged and everything like that, I do want to get to it. Like, I'm definitely planning to play it this year at some point. I know I keep saying I'm planning to play a lot of stuff this year, and we're already in August, so I don't know if I will, but at some point I will get to it. Yeah, Chrono Trigger, gotta get to it. And next up, we have a game that low-key highly influenced me to get a Wii again / GameCube, but that is Wind Waker right here, which I haven't started yet. That's another game I definitely want to get to. Zelda is my favorite or top 2 series of all time, and I know a lot of people didn't like this game when it first came out. People pretend like it is like, oh, everyone's their favorite Zelda game, but like back when this came out, even when it was revealed, a lot of people did not like the new art style, the Toon Link, all that kind of stuff. People were bashing it, especially after seeing that original trailer or demo like a year or two before at E3. But over the years, people started really looking back and being like, oh, actually this was a great game. Or the people that did play did really like the game and the new art style. And this type of art style, technically you could say, kind of influenced Breath of the Wild's art style, that cell shaded art style. And I almost got a Wii U just to play this, because I've never played it, and then also to be able to play Twilight Princess again. But then I'm like, okay, what if it comes out on Switch? So I didn't want to get a Wii U and the Wii U's price is kind of going up because there aren't that many out there, and I was just like, okay, let me just wait a little bit. And then we did get the announcement that the GameCube came to NSL, so I'll be able to play it. I did want to get a physical copy, but that game, complete in box physical, is like $130 or more, and I was just like, I can't really, especially for a game I've never played before and don't necessarily have an attachment to. But I am thinking about streaming this game, kind of like, hey, this is my first time playing through it, retro review, and kind of give my thoughts on it and compare it to other Zelda games I like Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time. I know each Zelda has their own little quirks about them and everything. The other Toon Link game I played was Phantom Hourglass. I have Spirit Tracks as well, which I haven't played yet, but I'm interested to see like how this story goes with the game and what made a lot of people that did play it actually like it. So definitely looking forward to playing through it. All right, next up we have Nier Automata right here. So this was another game. I know people say whatever about Game Pass and everything like that, but if I didn't have Game Pass, I wouldn't have known about this game at all. I got it on Switch after I tried playing it in Game Pass for a little. I didn't play through the whole thing, obviously, and then I did want to play through this right here, Nier Replicant, which is a re-release or remaster, I guess you could say, and some changes done to the original Nier game from 2010. But that came out in 2021, I believe. But considering it was put out technically before Nier Automata, that's the one I want to play through first before I get to this game. 2B is considered one of the most popular cosplay characters of the last, I don't know, 8 years at this point. But the game itself is really dope. The combat, has that, not just hack and slash, but you also have, your drone flowing around to like kind of shoot at. It's very Stellar Blade coded as well, even though they did a you know, collab, except you're fighting a few more enemies at a time. The boss battles are a little different, but the world looks really cool. I definitely, like I mentioned, want to play through Near Replicant just to get that full story of the world and everything that's going on. And yeah, I mean, Near Automata was considered one of those quote unquote impossible ports, along with Skyrim and Witcher 3. So having one of those games, hopefully it plays better on the Switch too. I want to check that out as well. But yeah, definitely looking forward to this, as well as the anime. They have an anime out. I want to check that out. But again, gotta play through Near Replicant first, then Near Automata, and then watch the show. And I'm also just a sucker for any game that has the different types of games in it. Like you're switching angles, like you're playing action style. Now you're playing shoot 'em ups. Now you're doing the hack and slash. Now you're doing puzzles. Now you're doing side scroller. Like it has all of that in it, and just the atmosphere, soundtrack, all that just plays really highly into it, moving up on my list of it's probably like top 5 games in my backlog that I want to get to after I finish Near Replicant, of course, but the Near Automata had to make it on. All right, next we got The Witcher 3 coming from CD Projekt Red. Now my first CD Projekt Red game was Cyberpunk, which I really like, but they did put out the next gen version of this game, which I was able to get for $10. Yes, the complete new game of the year, or did whatever they call this special definitive 2022 version. $10, I was able to get this game. And this, again, with The Witcher 4 being announced, it is a game, you know, I want to get into. I've always wanted to get into it, and seeing the live action on Netflix with Henry Cavill, I did want to get into it and play the game first. I'm not that interested in playing the first two. I know they're going to have a remaster of the first game, so I'll definitely play that when it comes out. But Witcher, again, one of the most legendary Western RPGs. Western RPGs have kind of gone downhill of the last decade or so, at least from, you know, what I've played and what everyone is saying. But Witcher, definitely gotta get to it, get those, you know, next gen graphics and everything like that. Definitely looking forward to playing this. All right, next up we got Super Mario Galaxy 2. So this was another reason I ended up getting the Wii. This is complete in box, got the manual and everything. This case is actually very heavy because of this manual. This manual has, like, I don't know if that's the numbers on it. It says 66 pages, all colored and everything like that. Originally, I did get a 2-pack of Galaxy 1 and 2 from an eBay seller, but Galaxy 1 was not working at all, which I got my money back, and like I already played Galaxy 1, so I was okay with that. But this is the only 3D Mario to have a direct sequel, so that makes it very special. And Galaxy was really, really good. So of course you had Yoshi, you had other power-ups and different mechanics and stuff like that. Like you could only make a better game. And a lot of people put this as their favorite platformer, whether that's 2D or 3D of all time. So again, another game that's kind of missed me. I didn't have a Wii at the time. I had just gotten rid of it actually. So definitely want to get into this, especially with, you know, how possibly a new 3D Mario coming out next year. So maybe I'll do a retro review on it around that time whenever that game gets announced. But yeah, Super Mario Galaxy 2, I definitely recommend anybody who hasn't played the Galaxy series to try it out. Whether you got to get, you know, 3D All Stars to play the first one, or get a Wii, or whatever you got to do. But definitely check out, you know, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. So I've kind of said how I've fallen out of love with Pokemon a little bit. I think it's just so nostalgic for me, where I don't think I'll ever not be interested in it. But I had fallen off from Gen 4. Like Gen 4 was my last one, then I didn't come back till Gen 6. So it was like a 7-year gap where I wasn't playing any spin-offs, nothing like that. I played 6, didn't play Gen 7 or 8, and barely played 9. But one of the games a lot of people talk about is this right here. You got Pokemon Crystal. I have it on the 3DS. So this was cool back in the 3DS days. They did put out what a lot of people want them to do with the Switch, was put out the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance versions. You know, you could buy them piece by piece. You could pay, it was like $10. They had a lot of Game Boy games. I got like Link's Awakening, Pokemon Yellow, Oracle of Ages. Like they had a lot of that on the 3DS that you could buy. And while I do think Gen 2 probably has the weakest Pokemon in general, the legendaries are pretty cool, but the Pokemon in general just aren't that great. But I think people love Gen 2 because of the mechanics. We got 2 new types with Steel and Dark types coming out. We got 2 new evolutions. You were able to go back to Kanto, you know, so you could get 16 badges totally. So it just had a lot going for it. And then the fact that I have the version on the 3DS, which can connect to the Pokemon Bank and the Pokemon Home, so you can bring games. Technically, if you have a 3DS, you can bring Pokemon games from like every generation except like Gen 5, like easily over to your, you know, current gen games. So for the younger viewers, back when Pokemon used to come out, they would have two versions, you know, red and blue, and then you have the third game, which was a refined version, and you had gold and silver, and then you got crystal, you got ruby and sapphire, you got emeralds, so forth and so on. So crystal being that definitive edition of Gen 2 and being able to connect to the newer games on the 3DS, that's kind of what I'm looking forward to playing. I did have this harebrained idea in my mind that I was going to try and complete the entire Pokedex, like all 1,000 and whatever. Now that I have a, you know, modded 3DS, I have, you know, Gen 4, 8, and 9 on the Switch and stuff like that. But I'm just like, nah, man, I can't take that journey. I can't take that journey. And I can't. And then last up on the list, we got the entire Xenoblade series. So we got Xenoblade Definitive Edition, got Xenoblade 2 right here, Torna, and Xenoblade 3. So this was a little bit of overindulgence on my part, having not played this series at all, but just from me getting more into JRPGs and everything like that, and this series being so fought for by a lot of people, whether it was execs or fans of the series, I was like, you know what? I've just been hearing about it, I've been watching gameplay, I've seen the series, I've seen the trailers and everything, and I'm all in. I'm gonna buy it. I didn't buy the Future Redeemed and the DLC and stuff like that, but I knew Torna was physical, and that's rare to have a DLC expansion that's physical, so I definitely want to grab that. And I've seen a lot of hype for, you know, Monolith Soft's next RPG, whatever that's going to be. So I wanted to get into it. I cannot play these straight through because obviously playing 3, you know, 50 to 60 hour JRPGs back to back to back is just going to burn you out, and you're not going to really like it. Some people can do it. I personally can't, but the story of Xenoblade with Monado and the, you know, the Titans that you're on that are constantly fighting back and forth and everything like that just really interested me. The different characters, you know, Shulk, Rex, Pyramithra, Neo, all of these characters is just like, yeah, man, I'm gonna give it a shot. And that's my full list of 10 out of 10 games in my backlog that I want to get to. Y'all let me know in the comment section below. Did I miss anything? Is there, I know there's a ton of games people say, oh, did you play this and play that? But these are ones I felt like really speak to my taste in games and are more likely for me to get to them. More likely the 10 games I mentioned more than the honorable mentions, but listen, there's been a lot of games. There's always new stuff coming out, and, you know, I'm kind of trying to mix modern with the retro. I don't really replay a lot of games, so that leaves that space open. Definitely looking forward to playing everything on this list. Y'all let me know in the comments section. Let me know which ones I should play first. Forget what I missed. Let me know what, you know, what would you recommend, or did I name something that you think isn't as good as a lot of people say? Let me know. I want to know everything, y'all thoughts in the comment section. Leave a like on this video, subscribe if you have not already. Check out my other videos, all the links in the description, and I'll catch you on the next video.